Though Hannibal revered him as one of history's greatest generals, the life of Pyrrhus is a combination of fortune and misery. Before Pyrrhus could speak his first words, he was marked for death by Cassander of Macedon. Fortunately, the king of the Illyrians chose to provide refuge for his family before returning Pyrrhus to his throne when he was around 12 years of age. In his 17th year, his kingdom was stolen by Neoptolemus, and he had to seek refuge in the house of Demetrius I, the prince of Macedon, and his brother-in-law. He served with distinction under Demetrius for several years, and later married into the family of Ptolemy I, the latter of whom sought his successful return to the throne in Epirus. Plutarch's account details various military actions that Pyrrhus oversaw during his kingship. First, he fought against Demetrius as he sought to expand the Macedonian Empire. Second, Pyrrhus campaigned against Rome with the vision of conquering Italy and Africa before claiming Macedon for Epirus. In his battles against the Romans, many of his chief officers and friends were cut down, resulting in detrimental victories. Finally, he took control of Sicily under the assumption he would force the Carthaginians off the island. His failure to do so resulted in the Sicilian Greeks forcing him out of Sicily. With the depletion of both his army and his treasury, Pyrrhus returned to Greece and claimed Macedon for some semblance of a victorious conquest. In 272 BC, Pyrrhus sought to claim the Peloponnesus for Epirus, but was met with fierce resistance by the Spartans and forced away. He later tried to capture the city of Argos under the cover of night, but the Argives and Macedonians ambushed his army within its walls. In the street battle, Pyrrhus was killed by the Macedonians, and his head was sent to Antigonus II for confirmation. Plutarch writes that after his body was cremated, Antigonus showed kindness to the allies of Pyrrhus, most notably his son, Helenus. Not much is known about what became of the descendants of Pyrrhus, but there is no mention of any of his heirs reaching the 2nd century BC. And now we shall turn our attention to his Roman counterpart. The account of Gaius Marius depicts a man with an insatiable appetite for power amidst an environment of political chaos. As a young man, he served with the legions in Numantia under the command of Scipio Aemilianus. Though he likely served as military tribune during this period, he was elected plebeian tribune for 119 BC. Over the next few years, his career was largely undistinguishable, despite serving as praetor and as governor in Hispania. In 109 BC, Marius served under the consul Metellus in the Jugurthine War in Africa. His service in battle raised him towards his first consulship in 107 BC, where he took control of the Roman forces and eventually led them to victory. But just as the war in Africa was concluding, Rome was alerted to the presence of the Cimbri and Teuton tribes preparing to march on Italy from Gaul. Marius was elected consul for the year 104 BC and would go on to earn 5 consecutive consulships. This was in part due to the Roman populace wanting a man that had proven his competence in the face of overwhelming enemy forces. Though the war against the Germanic tribes lasted 5 years, Plutarch details how Marius utterly defeated the Teutons before joining forces with the consul Catulus in a proper battle against the Cimbri, where the Romans earned a decisive victory and both consuls earned a triumph. But the inability of Marius to serve as a peacetime administrator and his proclivities to support violent and controversial actions caused the people to despise him during his 6th consulship. After a semi-retirement from politics, Marius saw further action during the Social War in Italy. His notoriety stirred the ire of his chief rival, Sulla, and Marius was hunted in both Italy and Africa. Despite this, he was named consul for the 7th time and began purging Rome of the partisans loyal to Sulla. But just 17 days into his consulship, Marius died in 86 BC, lamenting how he had never attained the fullness of his political desires. After Sulla gained power, the images and memories of Marius were hidden from the public for several years until they were reinstated by the latter's nephew, the future dictator, Julius Caesar.